Don't get caught up in the fancy suits, the fancy watches, the fancy pad that they rented, or this fucking photo they've done on social media, or that photo, or the little, zoom in on the watch, or the Ferrari that they're driving. Listen, I've been there. I've been that wanker as well. I've done it back in the day. I've done it. I've done that whole, let's go to Nobu, let's go to Hakkasan, let's go to fucking one of these fancy restaurants and do it. Look, and you know what? There'll probably be a time when I'm drunk enough I can do it as well. So I'm a hypocrite. But here's what I'm going to say to you, right? Look at the people that are graft. They get up early, they train, they're living a life, they're building businesses. They failed, they've come back, they're still pushing it. I will call myself a mentor the day I build a company, sell it for 100 million, or I've got 100 million assets, or I'm making more money than sense. I can then turn around and say, you know what? I've got the credentials, I'm validated, and I am now a thoroughbred businessman. And you know what? Yeah, I can mentor you because I've been there and done it. I am not that person at the moment. I'm never going to say I'm the mentor and I'm that coach, because I don't even feel like I even deserve that title yet. So listen, going back to the point, just be aware of there's like fake people out there that are just trying to become a coach, and they've been on a course, they've told to be how to label themselves and dress themselves up as a coach, but they're full of shit. Back to the Stephen Sulley study, another short podcast today. I want to talk, do you know what, I would say it's a bit of frustration, and it's a bit an observation. Mentors. A bit of a word. Some of the problem with social media now is so many powerful words, phrases and labels are taken and they're thrown into social media, they're spun around, they're sugar coated, and then they're ripped to pieces because they're overused and also they're misused. And the age of social media is great, and it's also a curse. Right, I'm going to say this, right? I wouldn't call myself a coach. I wouldn't call myself even an entrepreneur, really. I mean, I might have said it before in the past, but really, when I really think about it, I don't even say that. I wouldn't call myself a mentor by any stretch. For me, it doesn't resonate well with me. I know other people might feel differently, but for me, it doesn't. I'm actually a salesperson. At the core of everything, I'm a salesperson. I enjoy influencing, I enjoy closing a deal, I enjoy hustling, I enjoy scrambling around for a pound note. I just enjoy it. Maybe because I'm pretty shit at most other things, but this I'm fairly good at. I like talking, I like doing public speaking, and I just like transferring my enthusiasm, and hopefully you can pick up on that. This podcast is about, be careful who you label a mentor, and be careful who you describe as someone who is a coach, or someone who is a person that gives you a massive amount of influence. Now, I do believe that anybody in the world, from rich or poor, old or young, female, male, whatever, can be a good influence, and they can be someone that motivates you. In actual fact, sometimes people that have lost a lot of money, or someone that has done things completely wrong in their life, actually motivate me, because I look at that person or those individuals and I think, that's exactly how I don't want to live. That motivates me. But then there are other people who made a shit ton of money, got a massive empire, and I say to myself, that's how I want to be, or I want to take the best bits from them. So it's okay to have both. But with the age of social media, there are a lot of people purporting to be experts in their field, or say they are a mentor or a coach or some kind of, I don't know, some kind of person of influence. And they're asking you to buy into their story, buy into their product, pay them money and do all this stuff. There are some very good ones out there, and there are some good ones out there that have got hardly any following, and they're incredible people. They've got a real integral story. They're genuine. They've gone through hard graft. They've got backbones. They are phenomenal individuals. And there are other people that have got thousands of followers, and they are fucking talking a load of shit. And the reason why they're talking a load of shit is because they are broke, and I'm not just talking about financially. They are broke in regards to their systems, what they're doing, the way they conduct themselves, and they are talking about artificial stuff. And look, I'm not here to single out who they are. It's not even right of me to do so, because I'm not perfect. I have done some stupid things in my life. I have fucked up on many occasions, and I'm pretty sure if anyone ever wanted to research me, you could probably even find some points to slam in my face and say, this is who you are, etc. But here's all I'm going to say. Just be aware of who the real people are out there, the real mentors, and people that are a little bit fake. And I try and honestly look at people that have kind of walked the walk and who have gone out there and actually had the tough days, had days where they didn't even know if they could pay their mortgage or pay their bills or whether they're going to pay their staff or not. People that have made a lot of money, lost a lot of money, came back, they've got assets, they're growing, they've got their principles in place. Just because someone on the internet talks a good game, okay? Just because someone on social media drives a Ferrari, just because someone's got a nice watch, a Patek Philippe, an AP, a Rolex, a Cartier, whatever, just because someone rents a nice place, just because someone's got I don't know, they go on nice holidays, does that really make them a mentor? Honestly. I mean, there's one particular guy I always mention that he's got hardly any followers, never ever goes out there and preaches to people, and his company's well over $500 million, probably going to get to $1 billion in the next few years, and he's a real genuine integral guy, very fit, determined, driven, up at the crack of dawn, works like he's broke, but at the same time he's looking to get a private jet, he's got a helicopter, got a yacht, got lovely watches, got lovely cars. But again, this is going to sound a bit sleazy, but he's rich because of his personality, in regards to he's got a wealth of knowledge, wealth of experience. And even today I went down to Costa Coffee to have a talk about just a catch up really. I hadn't seen him for a while, and straight away started speaking about property and gave me just some tips, like because we're in this so-called recession now and this kind of downturn, gave me some tips. And he doesn't realise it, but in a way, he's like an influence on my life in a positive way. He's actually a bit of a mentor. I've never gone over to him and said, you're a mentor. He's never come over to me and said he's a mentor, and he's never even purported that. But they're the kind of mentors that you need to gravitate towards. And sometimes a lot of people are very good talking about the ideas. One thing that really sort of gets to me is the things that sound good. So someone could say what people on Instagram call, oh, that's a fucking gem, that was a bar, that was fucking, all that kind of fucking shitty stuff. And really in practice, you try and implement that into your business or into your life, it may not work. Look, I've spoke about goals before. The way I do goals, is that the only way to do goals? Of course not. There are certain so-called mentors that will say something, say this is the only way to do it. It's bollocks. It's bollocks, because the guy that I've been referring to has never wrote down a goal. He's never done never done affirmations, probably never done incantations, really. He hasn't even done a vision board, but yet he's got all the toys you can imagine, and he's financially free generations over. If he could probably support the whole of fucking, I don't know, South London if he wanted to financially. That's how rich he is. But he's never wrote down a goal. So you can't tell me that one way or the other is the only way to do it, because you've got to just find what works for you. Now, I do believe in affirmations because it's personally worked for me. I do believe in incantations. It's actually personally worked for me and also other people. I believe in doing vision board. It's something to reference. But at the end of the day, do you know what the thing that's really going to get you somewhere? Just doing something. Listening to these people, going on all the courses that you want and becoming a bit of a course whore isn't going to make you wealthy. I've heard people say, I've done this course, I've done that course, I've got this qualification, I've done higher education here. But what are you doing? What are you doing? Because if you're not doing anything, it's all a fucking waste of time. And I know that's probably something that you're probably sitting there right now if you're listening to this and thinking, what a wanker, why is he saying that? And probably feel a little bit bitter about what I'm saying. But it's a waste of time and your money and your family's money if you're not implementing the stuff that you've learned. It's all about action, and it's all about putting the thing into practice and just getting results off the back end of it. So even if you didn't do an affirmation, even if you didn't do an incantation, even if you didn't write down any goals or do a vision boards or listen to any other person, as long as you get results, that's the main thing. And looking at some of these so-called mentors and coaches, I know some of them, they're broke, they've got no assets. You know, they look rich on the face of it because they've got a nice car. Who gives a fuck? Who cares if they've got a nice car? Look, I would have been sucked into it when I was 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, maybe up to about 24, 25 years of age, maybe, because I love cars, I love watches and that. But when you get around real wealthy people, I'm not talking about people that look rich, I'm talking about real wealth, you know, people that can literally move mountains with their money because that's how successful they are, and also their network. You realise having a car and a watch is great, and I'm always going to be a part of that kind of, you know, I'm going to want that stuff because it, you know, it's a nice thing to do. It's something that gets me going, but that doesn't make you wealthy. And if you think it does, you really will get a reality check at some point. What I love about someone like Grant Cardone, I've never met him, but I've listened to his content. He says two things: find a mentor and stick to their philosophies, because if you go to that mentor, that coach, that person, that influencer, you get cross-contaminated and conflicted information, and you don't know whether you're going or coming, you don't know whether you're being pulled from this place or pushed in that direction. You need to look at one person or a few and stick to that regime, because then at least you know where you're going right or wrong. The next thing is, you're not really wealthy unless you've got money coming in whilst you're asleep. So I can pick up a phone, I can go and have a call with someone, a Zoom call, go and meet someone, and as a salesperson I can probably raise myself 10, 20, 30 grand fairly quickly if I really put my heart and soul into it, providing I've got the right product, which I have. I've got Richard Hambleton, it's phenomenal. Providing I've got the right brand, which we have. We've got Woodbury House and a few other businesses that we're affiliated to, and the client is eligible and is suitable for them. I could raise quite a bit of money, but that doesn't make me wealthy. That allows me to get money. What really makes you wealthy is applying your knowledge into assets that pay you back. I mean, even sometimes the business doesn't really make you wealthy because, look, we're in a recession. You know, the recession can actually wipe out and will wipe out many businesses out there. So look at assets that can withstand the ebbs and flows of a recession and still make you money. And that's really wealth. And that's where I'm trying to get to. So I'm not really listening too much to those people that can just talk about a good game. It's very similar to my boxing that I'm into. I'm going to listen to that coach, that trainer that has taken a few digs on the chin and still willing to fight back. That's the person I'm listening to. Not necessarily world champion, not necessarily, you know, has won all the titles, but someone that is fighting all the time. That is the person who's got heart and soul integrity. The other trainer that is not willing to get into the ring, not willing to do sparring, not willing to do the training himself, that's the person I'm going to stay away from, because you're not following your own philosophies. And that's kind of what some of these so-called mentors are. They call themselves a mentor and they talk about this great game that they had once before, but what are you doing now? What are you honestly doing now? So don't get caught up in the fancy suits, the fancy watches, the fancy pad that they rented, or, you know, this fucking photo they've done on social media, or that photo, or the little, you know, zoom in on the watch, or the Ferrari that they're driving. Listen, I've been there. I've been that wanker as well. I've done it back in the day. I've done it. You know, I've done that whole, let's go to Nobu, let's go to Hakkasan, let's go to fucking one of these fancy restaurants and do it. Look, and you know what? There'll probably be a time when I'm drunk enough I can do it as well. So I'm a hypocrite. But here's what I'm going to say to you, all right? Look at the people that are graft. They get up early, they train, they're living the life, they're building businesses. They failed, they've come back, they're still pushing it. I will call myself a mentor the day I build a company, set it for 100 million, or I've got 100 million assets, or I'm making more money than sense. I can then turn around and say, you know what? I've got the credentials, I'm validated, and I am now a thoroughbred businessman. And you know what? Yeah, I can mentor you because I've been there and done it. I am not that person at the moment. I'm never going to say I'm the mentor and I'm that coach, because I don't even feel like I even deserve that title yet. So listen, going back to the point, just be aware of there's like fake people out there that are just trying to become a coach, and they've been on a course, they've told to be how to label themselves and dress themselves up as a coach, but they're full of shit. And then you've got other people that made massive amount of money, lost a lot of money, made a massive amount of money, got a great network, great charisma, great energy, and basically as a bit of a hobby, they help a few people out. And they don't even really call themselves a mentor, they just help a few people out. They're the kind of people that you want to be around, because they're not doing it for the money, they're doing it for the passion. If someone's trying to charge you money as a mentor, look, I know there are people out there that do it. I know Rob Moore does it, Mark Homer, and I believe they are very, very credible people. I mean, they are people that made a huge amount of money. But there are other people that haven't got big businesses like Rob or Mark in property or in, you know, all this other stuff, where it's hollow. There's nothing. There's no backstory. There's nothing. It's just, hey, I'm a coach. I'm going to coach you now. And for some reason, people get pulled into it. So I'm here to say, be aware, save your money, get around authentic people, people that have been there, done it, people that are willing to fight, people that are still willing to strive on. And no matter how much money they've got, no matter how successful they've got, they are looking to redevelop themselves and go in bigger, better and harder. They're the kind of people you want to be around. Then they're the real winners and real mentors. Bit of a rant, that one. All right, be happy. Never content, smash up your year and be a fucking success. Nice one.